everyone, welcome to another week of Nerders. My name is Rich,
I'm Nick.
and today is our movie top story. But before we get into that, we are the Over a Beer channel.
We are.
So we do every week over a beer. What are we drinking today? What is this?
Well, this one, it looks fun. So we got a can here.
Mm-hmm.
It's the J-Dub's Brewing Company, J-Dub, out of Sarasota, Florida, Up Top IPA. And you got to say it just like that. Up Top, because it has an exclamation
Yeah, it's got a little
mark.
exclamation point.
Quality,
Culture.
innovation, and culture.
Pairs well with your homies.
Oh,
A seasonable, sessionable India Pale Ale that doesn't slap you in the face with bitterness. Negatron.
Ooh, heard he's the next Transformers villain.
This one inspires to find your closest pals, or the person next to you at the bar, and give them a big ol' up top.
Up Top. All right, let's give it a shot. Oh, that's not bad.
I really like that.
Up Top. I like that. That's tasty.
Pairing well with the homies.
I'm not always a huge fan of beer out of cans, but it doesn't even have that sometimes you get that metal taste.
Yeah,
this
this is good.
It's sessionable.
Sessionable.
I'm not getting slapped in the face with bitterness. They did not
Mm.
lie. So good job, J-Dub's Brewing Company. Quality, culture, innovation.
This is really good. I'm really enjoying this.
That's a good one. All right, so now that that's out of the way, let's talk about some movie news.
Sure. So what do you got for us?
Well, I don't know what I was going to do there. We got some movie news that is sort of movie news, mostly TV news, though.
Okay.
So kind of cheating this week. But
Cheaters.
it's this is kind of, I believe it was at the Upfronts is what they call it or something like that.
Okay.
Let me see exactly where she said it. It was some sort of thing like that. The Television Critics Association press tour. So all the TV
How
critics.
did you not remember the name of that?
I know, right? The TCAP. Every year, the Television Critics Association, they go, and every network does a presentation for them to kind of get them pumped about what they have coming up, what's in the docket, all these things. Sounds like a great waste of money. Did you ever see the movie The TV Set?
No.
Oh, man, that's a good movie. Kind of goes into the whole world of this. You should see that. That's a good movie.
No, I can do it.
But anyway, and so the head of ABC Television, Channing Dungey, who is newly hired president, I think she's the first, any of the big four, the first female president and the first African-American female president at ABC. I believe some part of what I just said is true.
Good for her if it is.
Yeah. No, I know that she's definitely the first African-American woman to be the head of a major network.
Okay.
I don't know if she's the first woman. I might have made that part up. But anyway, she was speaking with the press, and because it's ABC, because they're owned by Disney, of course the question that always gets asked at these things was asked, are you going to have more Marvel television? And specifically, is there going to be a Star Wars live-action show in the works at ABC? And this has been a question that has been asked at ABC every year since Star Wars was made, and the previous president would always say there's nothing in the works with that. We have no plans currently of doing a Star Wars show. Her answer was different. And what she said was, they said, would you want that, and would you greenlight one? And she said, as a fan, I would absolutely love to say yes. The conversations with Lucas, we have had conversations with them, and will continue to have conversations with them. I think it would be wonderful if we could find a way to extend that brand into our programming. They asked for some more details on what the show could be, because they said they've had conversations, and she said, it's all a little bit hush-hush. That company, Lucasfilm, exists under a huge banner of secrecy. If you thought Marvel was secretive, Lucas takes it to a whole other level. We don't have an official timeline yet. She also went on to say that they are in constant talks with Marvel to bring more Marvel television to ABC. So let's talk about Star Wars first. There's not much here, but the idea that they are in conversations with Lucasfilm on bringing some form of Star Wars to ABC means that it is something that will probably happen
Yeah.
sooner than later.
You'd imagine so.
So, would you want to see a Star Wars show? What would you want it to be? Because I have an idea, at least somewhat, of what I would want it to be.
I mean, I would probably, want one, but I say that and I still haven't watched Clone Wars or Rebels, so...
Both very good.
Which...
I would not want another anime. I wouldn't want an animated show on ABC.
Okay.
That will fail.
Yeah.
An animated Star Wars show can succeed on Cartoon Network, can succeed on Disney XD. It would fail on ABC Primetime.
I don't know what I would want from it, though.
There's one clear thing that I would want from
Okay.
it not to be in the current timeline of the movies.
Mm.
Not to have anything to do with the episodes are doing. Because the problem with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and it's a fine show, it's not a great show, is that they're constantly having to find ways around having anything from the movies in their show.
Yeah.
Occasionally Sam Jackson shows up. That hasn't happened in 2 years. Occasionally some minor character will. But it's always, oh man, we just missed Thor. Or, oh man, Captain America was just at S.H.I.E.L.D. You know, like...
Or they have to figure out ways to tie it in where, the Winter Soldier...
Or it's not organic.
Like when Winter Soldier Cap, and they had to...
The show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. no longer had a shield.
Yeah, so it's just agents. Something almost like they did with Agent Carter.
Which worked way better.
Where it was connected, but it wasn't... You didn't have to worry about any of the events of anything else happening.
And it made sense. It was, well, actually, we have no idea what happened in between Cap getting frozen and getting thawed. And so it was like, oh, that could be an interesting story. So what I would want from Star Wars is you either go way back, or you fill in the gap in between Jedi and Force Awakens, or something else.
Yeah.
Maybe before Rogue One, just before that. Or, whatever it is, just not dodging, where'd Finn go? Why isn't why isn't General or Leia there?
Something that doesn't involve any of the major characters of the Star Wars universe, so we don't have to have those...
Yeah, totally.
Those lines and those things. And
would it succeed? Initially, of course. Everybody would check it out, but how many people would stay with it?
Depends who's behind it. Depends who's doing it.
Who could do that? The only person that I can think is Dave Filoni, the showrunner of Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yeah.
Give him the reins to a live-action show.
That would be cool.
And then he could do something interesting. Otherwise, I don't know who you get for something like that. But maybe it's somebody that you would never imagine. I mean, Noah Hawley, the guy who's showrunner of the Fargo series, is doing an X-Men series.
Yeah.
So I would have never predicted that.
You could bring Abrams back. He's got a lot of history in TV. And
that'd be something. You would have to... I could see him being like an EP on that. If you could get him to direct the pilot, that'd be a real boon.
Yeah.
Like he did for Lost and for some other shows. I would want to see it, but I would only want to see it if done right.
Well, yeah, of course, but I don't know.
I mean, the idea of what the Star Wars live-action show that George Lucas had commissioned to be made before this whole purchase, that sounded very interesting. And apparently there's 50 scripts that are written by very good sci-fi writers. I know Ron Moore was on that writing team. He was the showrunner of Battlestar Galactica. And he wrote a lot of those scripts, and he's talked a little bit about that. We know some of the details. It takes place in like the seedy underbelly of Coruscant with all the bounty hunters and everything like that.
Or you could almost do a series like more of a each episode is its own self-contained story. Like you have here's your hour. We're gonna have here's a show about the bounty. Here's a bounty hunter episode. Here's an episode that takes place somewhere else and involves
sort of like how Black Mirror works, where every episode is its self-contained thing with an overarching theme. That would be cool. I don't know how you do it, but it would be awesome if they found a good way to do it.
Yeah.
I want more Star Wars, and I don't think it would take away at all from the movies.
No.
That mindset
as long
of
as
these things is just flawed.
As long as they're given the budget to do what they need to do.
Yeah, and you have to imagine, to some degree they would, and they would continue to get the proper budget if the audience stayed.
Sure.
But what about more Marvel? Because there is the flip side to that before we move on.
I don't know if
I'm not sure. I
don't know what else they would do at this point. And because I feel like it's mostly covered by Netflix.
Yeah.
Like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I haven't watched since season 2. Or mid-season. I don't remember where I stopped in there. But I stopped somewhere in there, and I don't ever think, oh man, I can't wait to catch up. It's always one of those shows for me that is way down the list that eventually I would like to catch up on, but I don't ever do it. Even Agent Carter I still need to go back and catch up on, which I enjoy.
Had a really great season 2, and it's the last season. Netflix decided not to save it.
Yeah.
And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., though, like, that's kind of the reason why I don't know if I want ABC to do more, because I feel like they do something very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was all those rumors of spinning off 2 of the random characters from that into their own show, and it was just like, why?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
But, like, even season 3 of that show, it had some good parts to it. It was far down on my list of things worth watching last year. It had maybe the best episode of its whole run last season, but that was one episode. I don't know. I think Netflix should just take care of that right now, because nothing that ABC, likely nothing they would do would match the heights of when Daredevil and Jessica Jones really are working.
And what works so well about the Netflix model of these movies, Netflix doing them, is we have 22 episodes, so we have to do these, Monster of the Week episodes. We have a beginning point, we have an end point for this season. Let's take you from point A to point B, and it's a very clear arc and story.
As we've said before, we wish it was
10
episode.
I'd love it to be shorter.
13.
But even when there's like those filler episodes in the Netflix Marvel, they don't feel as filler as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where it's like, there's this random monster, let's all go do it, and and it has no effect on anything else that's going to happen. Like the Marvel one, there's a very clear through line and a story happening and being told.
Totally, yeah. Yeah, so, but it looks like one way or another there is more genre television coming to ABC soon, which could be a good thing.
Yeah.
It could be a meaningless thing. I wouldn't say at this point there's no bad thing for Marvel. If the show sucks, I just won't watch it. It's not going to ruin anything. There was a point early on where if Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had just been absolute dog trash, I would have been like, all right, well, you ruined it.
I wasn't into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. until the Winter Soldier stuff happened. That's the only reason I watched all of Season 1 is to get to that. Because the rest of it was like, I don't care.
Right. Yeah. So we'll see where they go, but that's this week's news. That was the big story of the week, that we might be getting Star Wars on television. We'll see.
Yeah.
So what did you think of that news? Do you want to see, what other Marvel show would you want to see? Let us know. Tweet at me. I'm Matt Stonks.
I'm at Rich Belson. Channels on Twitter at OABeer_official. Instagram is over_a_beer. Facebook.com/overbeer. And of course, YouTube.com/overbeer. That will wrap things up for today. So until next time, up top.
Oh, up top.